Hi, this is Siddharth from Infotech Lead. Quint Wellington Redwood, or Quint, is a global independent consulting and training firm specializing in IT management solutions. Quint is officially authorized as accredited training provider for Prince 2 certification course in India by APMG International. Here we have Sunil Mehta, Managing Director, Quint India, to talk about company's role in transforming digital landscape of enterprises in India. How has the IT landscape changed in India over the last couple of years?
So if you look at the IT landscape, first of all, cloud has become one of the realities. So everything is now moving on the cloud. Everything is becoming virtual. So that brings us a big challenge on risk and how the project gets completed on time. Risk management has become an area of concern. Change management has become an area of concern. And also, as I said, how the project gets completed on time. So people are also moving from a theoretical framework to practical framework, where you really show the benefits before it gets adopted in the whole organization. So I think over the last few years, it is going in a very practical way. You have to show value in a very fast-paced manner. We call that agile. You have to also show cost reduction on a continuous basis because there's pressure on profitability. So lean becomes a very important aspect of it. And in the end, all the projects that we do has to be on time and within the budget, and that is the crux of the real value realization.
What are the typical IT transformation challenges faced by CIOs?
As you know, IT is always changing, right? Change is inevitable. However, management of change is still not a technique which is learned by the CIOs easily. We are still facing a lot of problems when a change happens. It's people problem, the psychological problem, the mentality problem, and obviously the project issues, which is which is more related to the relationship. So that's one of the big issues: how to manage change within the organization. That's one. Second, which is again very important, is how to delegate work. In a big project, you have to break the whole thing into small components and then delegate to the right people and still control the delegation. So we've still not really learned how the whole delegation process works. We still believe that everything has to be done by the senior, owner, and that doesn't work anymore. The third area, which is very important, is also the ownership. We've seen people are not really owning to the responsibility which has been given to them, and that brings us to a very important aspect, that if I don't have people I can depend on, then the CIO's main role will really not get fulfilled. So just to repeat, one of the most important issue that the CIO is facing is to manage change. Second is how to delegate work to their team member. And third, how to increase accountability within the team member who own and deliver the service from end to end.
Who are your major clients?
In India, we work with all the verticals. We work with the banking section, we work with the financial segment, we work with the manufacturing, we work with IT service provider, we work with ITES companies, we work with the PSUs. So typically, if you look at, we've got about 250 clients in India, and it spans across all the major verticals of the industry.
How does Quint ensure ROI to clients' digital investment?
One of the major change which is happening also now is the digital transformation. How everything is moving from the physical to the virtual world. Internet of Things, getting connected, people connected, everything is connected now. Typically, the way we work, Quint only works in the area of best practices. So that's not technology specific. And these best practices can be adapted and adopted depending on what is your business specific needs of a specific organization. So for us, whether you do digital or you don't do digital, for us the best practice remains the same. So from my perspective, we are able to protect the investment in digital from an organization perspective, because we are focusing more on the best practices areas, including things like ITSM, including project management like Prince 2, including IT governance like COVID, including the architecture, which is TOGAF, and so on and so forth.
What are your strategies for customer acquisition and retention?
So, as you know, we've been in India since '99. We started our consulting division in 2005. So, we already have close to 250 odd customers in India where we've been working. To acquire, obviously, we want to acquire more and more customers. We have two big divisions. One division is the training division, which is typically the door opener for us. So, we educate organizations on these best practices. And once they are convinced that these best practices are really useful, we get into the consulting assignment. So for us, the roadmap is very simple, that we do as many trainings as possible. Those are our opportunities to convince the client about these best practices, explain the client about these best practices, and once they are convinced, move to the next level, which is consultancy, which is probably a project of 6 to 9 months.
How do you benefit from partnership with Exelos?
Okay, Exelos is the owner for a lot of best practices. One of the best practices they do is ITIL, which is the world's most used best practice on IT service management. They are also the IP owners for Prince2, which is the most used project management methodology in the world. So our partnership is very strategic. We work together so that we ensure we have as many number of people which know these best practices. The more they know, the more they participate, the more they would come back to us for either training or consulting. The launch that we're doing for Prince2 2017 is again very important for India. This is the first country that Exelos is launching Prince2 2017 version, and because of its strategic nature, India is very important for them. And India is very important to Quint as a country as well. So together we want to ensure that we fulfill our commitment to the Indian community of bringing them the best in class value, and also bringing the knowledge that we acquire from all across the globe to the Indian community.